Hello, everyone. Irene back again. Today we have a very special guest, Count Nugent Don Tricasto, whom I believe you all remember or know about his infamous play. It's The Magical Player. Now, the Count is a legendary figure to most of us because of his flamboyant lifestyle and his often outrageous disregard for all social conventions. Now, controversy swirls around this very paradoxical figure. He is a vital, important member of the ruling class, but he ridicules the official morality. Now, how can we make sense of this mysterious man? Well, let's give it a try, shall we? Welcome, Count Don Tricasto.
Dear Irene, please call me Nuge.
Oh.
These old crusty European titles weigh us down like a dull suit of armour. Let's rather indulge our sense for the light side for play. It's lovely to be here, Irene. You know, I've always adored your show. You always ask the most revealing questions. Can't wait for the ones you'll ask me.
All right, well, let's get started. My first question is, what exactly is your function in the ruling class?
I have no assigned function as such. It's not my lot to do anything. Rather, I simply am. To be, for me, is to be free to follow my merest whim and to do so with elegance and style. And you see, in this way, I become the personification and embodiment of all that one is meant to be. I'm an ideal, you see, for the masses. Although they could never hope to live as I do. Nevertheless, mine is the kind of life they might have had, if only the stern demands of survival had not ground them down into their present brutish condition.
Yes, but Nuge, aren't you afraid that your example might make people very envious, and angry? I mean, it could provoke some sort of widespread discontent. I mean, when people see that their rulers, they are not bound by the rules that they themselves have to follow.
No. You see, that's not the way it works at all. In reality, the masses adore their submissive posture. You've probably been told that oppression produces rebellion. No. Oppression produces resentment and resistance, yes, but it is the coquettish resistance of the flirt who courts and craves domination. If you've ever seen those old black and white movies of the 1930s, in the middle of what they used to call the Great Depression, they were all about the high society of the time. Crystal chandeliers, champagne, chauffeured Rolls Royces, gorgeous evening rounds, that sort of thing. The desperate people of those days paid money they couldn't afford in order to adore their oppressors.
Well, I also remember in those olden days, there used to be this slogan, "The people united can never be defeated." Now, aren't you afraid that people might, unite in the face of such hypocrisy?
Now, it is true that the people united can never be defeated, but there's a superior proverb. The people divided can never be united, you see. So you can divide them when they oppose you, and you can unite them to support you.
What about these nonconformists, though? Surely there must be some people who aren't really convinced. They don't follow the herd, and they hang back and ask questions.
Oh, yes, of course, but they're easily dealt with. The people need always be brought to do as they're told. All you need to do is to tell them that they're being attacked by something or other and denounce the doubters for lack of solidarity and exposing the society to danger. Make the herd afraid. They lose all reason. At that point, you can tell them just about anything. And you can also get them to police each other, which is both efficient and amusing.
Nuge, you speak as if all people, just ordinary people, are very, very stupid, and we can't really expect much of them. Now, is that the way people really are?
Oh, yes, Irene, you can't really expect much intelligence from the herd. They're so self-centered and short-sighted that they need to be herded like sheep or cattle.
And so I see this means that you and your class are the herders, and everyone else is the herd.
Well, that doesn't take much imagination. You only have to look at the mindless state of the herd today and think about it. How could anyone from beneath the ruling class possibly aspire to join us? Being no longer subject to death or illness, most of us have been alive for centuries now. Members of the herd, on the other hand, can hope to survive a century at most. They couldn't possibly accumulate the knowledge and the wisdom that comes with great age, not to mention the exquisite sensitivity that it gives.
Also, Nuge, what does this mean now? If death is voluntary for our rulers, now might this not lead to some undying group of people who never relinquish their power?
Why not? The wisdom of the authorities is such that it can be neither questioned or challenged, because its reach is vast and yet punctilious in detail, you see, totally incomprehensible to the common people.
Yes, but yet you yourself, in your play, that highly acclaimed play, The Magical Player, which has become so popular, with the regular, ordinary people, you seem to be saying that these people, these very people you say are so dense. Now, can you make sense of this for me?
Yes, it's very simple. You see, my art depends entirely upon appealing to two levels of understanding. The first level, superficial level, is that of an evening's entertainment. The deeper level can only be understood by those rare people who see the hidden meaning.
Oh, and these rare people who grasp this hidden meaning, now, could they be anyone and even members of the herd?
Anyone at all. Those with ears to hear. Let them hear.
So wouldn't that mean then that there are these two groups of people that do grasp the hidden meaning? Some are the people of the herd and some are the people of the ruling class.
Yes. And that's where I derive my greatest satisfaction. Because, you see, those of the herd who understand recognize that I'm revealing an infuriating truth. That they're being totally controlled by the illusion of freedom and there's no escape.
But, Nuge, how do you get satisfaction from that?
Isn't it obvious? All of their drive, intelligence, and creativity is being channeled inexorably into increasing their own servitude. And they watch in dismay as the masses around them become increasingly stupefied by the blandishments and childish punishments handed out to them by their puppeteers, the engineers of their consent. They watch, but there's nothing they can do to change anything. All of their rage changes into despair, despondency, and depression. And you wouldn't believe the fun the herd gets, the sense of solidarity they get out of despising one of the derelicts who are outside the herd, the nonconformists, you see. Yes.
Well, what about those of the ruling class who get this deeper meaning?
Oh, well, that's a different matter altogether. They laugh uproariously when they see the oppression of the herd portrayed, because you see they're the winners, and they're in on the secret, or they think they are.
And you yourself, Nuge, how do you view this?
Well, I confess that I too have enjoyed this little joke at the expense of the oppressed, but it's getting old now, and quite frankly, it's starting to bore me.
Oh.
I feel the need to transcend.
Into what?
Into what, indeed? My sole aim is to spread strife and confusion. Any status quo depresses me. Anything which becomes entrenched is moribund and depressing, and I can't stand to be depressed. It saps my creativity. So, who knows where next I might turn my awesome firepower.
Oh, how do your colleagues in the ruling class regard this?
It frightens them, which is good, because, you see, they're too complacent. They think they're above the vicissitudes of fortune, but they're not. They know subconsciously that they are, and they try to deny it, which is why is it so much fun to skewer them and watch them squirm by reminding them.
Aren't you afraid they might turn on you, Nuge?
There's not a chance. They know I'm several steps ahead of them, and they never know what I might do, you see. So, as you know, Irene, there's no defense against the unexpected, is there?
Well, I think we should leave it right there, shall we? On this cliffhanging note.
I wouldn't have it any other way. And let me congratulate you.
Yes?
You did ask all the right questions. And that's why I adore your show.
Well, thank you, Nuge, because you have massively demonstrated today the power of our motto. There's always the unexpected, isn't there? Thanks for tuning in, and please leave your comments below. And, well, until next time, bye-bye.